Hello again, my name is Dr. Bill Johnson. I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Exploring Our Schools. As I've done in the past, I have taken the opportunity of meeting with and spending a little time with a number of people who work either behind the scenes or in fact part of our TV studio. And today what we're doing is we're going to do exactly that. So I'm going to focus on one aspect of it, which is the morning news. We can certainly talk about a number of other things, but that's where we'd like to start. And where I'd like to start with is Lynn Strong, who is a teacher at Southside High School and has coordinated this work for a number of years right now. So, Lynn, maybe if you could just spend a few minutes and just talk a little bit about what we do here in the studio, and particularly with regard to the morning news.
Okay, well, we have second period. It's always second period every day. We meet every day for one semester at a time, so we have 2 semesters every year. And we actually produce a news show. It's a full-on news show with anchors, cameramen, every day. So at the end of the period, we go live, we turn the key, and we go through VBrick, through the whole system. Anyone who logs into VBrick can watch the show. We have all the students take turns with their different positions. So we have some in front of the camera, some behind the cameras, some in the control room, and they're doing the switcher. And I basically don't touch any equipment after I teach them. The students are the ones that actually produce the show every day. So we have second period to rehearse. We do 2 or 3 rehearsals, and then we go live, 2 minutes. We have a 2-minute show. So then I turn the key, we go live, and they do a show. And then we roll everything back and get ready for the next day. Next day comes, we have our announcements, and we do another show.
So people that are watching know that we have 2 other guests. They are 2 of our students, and if you wouldn't mind, you kind of introduce yourselves and then talk a little bit about how you got involved in the morning news. I'll start with the young lady here, ninth grader.
I'm Maggie, and I'm a freshman. This line of work has always interested me. I've always wanted to be a sports anchor. So as soon as we went to our elective night at the high school, I knew exactly that I wanted to choose this class. So I'm really excited to be in it this year.
And I'm Danny. I'm a senior, and I've seen the shows for the past 3 years, and I always thought they were pretty cool. And also, I'm just I've been known for being a good talker and stuff. So I realized why not? And it's a really fun class. I'm happy with taking it, and it's just a great time.
Now, both of you guys are on air every day,
Yeah.
or not every day, or you take turns?
Yeah.
Some days you'll be a camera person, one day you'll be an anchor. Well, 1 week, not one day. So you have the same job for a week.
Mm-hmm.
So what's it like to be on every day?
For example, this week I'm anchor, and it's pretty fun. You just come in, they give you your scripts, you have to read through it a couple times, and then once you do go through it once, it's really no big deal. And then lately we've turned from just doing recorded shows to back to the live shows, and that could be a little nerve-wracking, but it's really once you do it once or twice, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe on Monday I was kind of nervous and stuff because we just started doing the live show last week, so everyone's been watching it. But yeah, this is the 3rd Thursday. We did 4 times already. It's really no big deal now.
Yeah, we've almost forgotten what live is like.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think. When you say live, if anything goes wrong, the whole world sees it, right?
Yeah.
No pressure, though, right?
Right. And that's one thing that knowing that we go live. And I'll say if somebody messes up a line, you can correct them. We're human. It's okay.
Well, that's really part of the experience.
Yeah.
And I'm sure. Whatever the love is that you've developed for what you do is in fact knowing that you can respond differently if in fact something doesn't go exactly as you planned.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Any good stories?
All
right, we don't. I could ask some of your classmates.
We haven't had a lot of bloopers yet, actually. No,
Right?
we haven't had a lot of bloopers yet. Everyone pretty much, because the show is down to 2 minutes, so we just kind of, do it. We edit the script so that it's a little easier to read, and it's, you're not stumbling over a lot of words and everything. So, and then with the rehearsals, 2 or 3 rehearsals.
Interesting. That in and of itself is really a challenge. Whatever it is you have to get done, you've got to get done within a 2-minute period of time.
Right.
So you talked just a minute about a script. Maybe we could just start there. What exactly does that mean?
Well, the script, what it entails is that of course, it's going to say on the top, like, the date and the introduction that you're going to be saying. And then there's probably around, like, it ranges. Like, today there are really only, like, 2 or 3 announcements, but then some days it could be to, like, 7 or 8 or 9. And you kind of just split it up with the other anchor, and you just go back and forth. And it's good how you go back and forth because it's a good amount of time that, like, people are interested, and there's not enough switching that people get confused and stuff. And also, it's not long enough for people to lose interest. So normally, when you say the script, it's about, like, 2, like, notifications and stuff. And it's really, like, maybe, like, 15 seconds of talking. And it's, like, good how we do it. It's, like, a nice setup.
But part of that is pacing. Somebody's got to, when they write this, has got to know who's anchoring and how fast they
Right.
speak or don't speak and how many words we can fit within that 2-minute period.
Well, and the thing with the challenging part, the most challenging, I think, being an anchor, and I've anchored myself, and we've had guest anchors, is they need to speak naturally and not just read. Like, we know everyone can read, so they're reading, and if they just read, does get boring. But when they start putting their own spin, or saying, hey, there's a football game, can I, mention, yeah, go ahead, plug the football game, so I like when they're more natural, and that's really, I think, what the biggest challenge is for the anchor, because it's so easy just to sit there and read it, but when you have to act like an anchor, that's what makes it tough.
So part of that is you with the sports. Is that what
Yeah.
you do?
Yeah, well, we have the show, so then I anchor, but that's definitely what I want to do when I'm older. But like Ms. Strong said, it definitely takes a little getting used to, like, not just looking at the teleprompter and reading it right off, but you really want to, like, throw your own little, like, lines in it and stuff like that.
Uh-oh,
Yeah, your personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
So what kind of lines?
Just adding little things like, oh, there's a basketball game today, or like, go Southside football, whatever.
Okay.
That was in the news that
Right.
day.
All right. Now, you make that sound like it's easy, but again, trying to put it all together so it fits within the 2-minute
Right,
period.
putting it all together is the hard part, because, or I would say the challenging part. The anchors will do their job, but there's all the other jobs that they all have to do 100% of effort in order to make a good show.
Well, that's a great segue. So why don't we
Right.
kind of walk ourselves into that? So what are some of the other jobs that you're talking about? Obviously, somebody puts the script together.
Well, we get the script sent to us from somebody, from the secretary in the library. So that's just, this
Well,
club
they
meets at
just
this
list
time.
what-
They just list it, but I've been editing it, and then I teach the teleprompter person how to edit it. So then they'll edit, and they literally type it, into, or edit it in the teleprompter. So that's what comes up that the anchors can actually read.
So you guys actually work with a teleprompter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And, it can get difficult once in a while. Like, it'll be fun. Like, we'll be in the middle of a show. And before we started doing the live shows, we've only been doing live shows for 2 weeks. And luckily, we don't. And we haven't had any problems with the live show with the teleprompter crashing. But we've had some times where we have to record it. And we only have, like, 5 minutes left in the class. So we don't have time to redo it. And the teleprompter crashes. And that's why, like, the anchors always have, like, a script. But for the most part, like, the teleprompter, we all know how to use it. Like, we know how to be able to go over and edit our scripts and stuff. But it's a really good thing to have.
Both of you got great voices for this.
Yeah, they do.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just not pacing and tone. I mean, there's something a lot, and personality comes across, what your voice is able to. You feel comfortable, and I mean, you recognize that. I mean, when you do
Yeah,
all
like
of
the
this.
first day I did anchor, it was definitely a little nerve-wracking, being the only freshman in the class. But then, like, you get more comfortable in front of the camera, so then it just comes naturally.
But you
really
have to
nice.
articulate, and you do it so
Yes.
beautifully. Right? So it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and the practice
The
does
words
help.
are not
Yeah,
blurred. I mean, it's
Right.
It sounds easy, but it's
No,
not.
you know what, one of the biggest challenges, I think, is we all speak too fast. So all our words get slurred if you're just talking, but when you're on camera, it's slow down, where is the fire, and I think that was something we had to, you're talking so fast, I can't even hear what you're saying.
Right.
But when you're talking in conversation, it's a very different thing.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
so that's one thing, we slow down.
now,
You know.
we're sitting in a set right now. I know the set changes a little bit, and you have another one for the morning news.
Right.
And we're surrounded by, we have 4 kids in here right now on
Right.
camera. So talk about a little bit about some of the other jobs.
We have camera people and the teleprompter. They're here in the studio along with the anchors. In the control room, there's going to be the director, The technical director, which is the switcher, they literally push the buttons, audio, and we
When
have
you say
CD
push the buttons,
push buttons to take which
That's not-
camera, this camera ready, this camera. So they're basically the hands of the director. So the director is watching all the monitors. They need to just bark out, directions, and then everyone in the
yeah,
control
but
room
each
is
camera
listening.
has a different focus,
Yeah,
so that, you say push a button, it's camera, but there's somebody actually behind each one of these cameras
right.
that's focusing and moving in, moving out.
Getting the shots, right.
Getting exactly the shot, right?
Yeah.
In advance.
Right,
So then when you do push that button,
right. It's
he's
ready.
speaking, but it's not on her.
Exactly,
Yeah, right.
and that's the director's job. The director's job is to get all of that ready, so when it's her turn to speak, the director is saying, okay, push that button, and then it happens exactly when they say it.
All right.
So the director is the main
And our
person in
students
that.
do a lot of that.
Oh, all of it. I don't do it at all. I don't do, unless people are absent, I don't even fill in. After the student, what's funny is because we were saying we rotate weekly, we're already in the second half of the second semester, and there's people who haven't even done the first job yet because we have so many students and then
Right.
multiplied by how many weeks we're here. So there are some kids who haven't done audio. Next week it'll be their first time doing that because
Yeah.
we just have to rotate, so.
No, it's interesting. I mean, we have a single mic right here
Mm-hmm.
that just sits here on the table, but, I mean, how are you guys mic'd? Do you have a single, what do you do?
On the show, each anchor has their own mic that you clip to their shirt, almost like the ones you see like on TV
Oh, on
shows.
TV, yeah, right. Do you have an earpiece that you use?
No.
We don't have that. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
we need the camera people, and they do the countdown.
Mine is well hidden, but it's,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
So-
no, we don't have that for them, but they each have their own microphone.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Okay.
so now the audio person has 2 levels to get, because she might speak softer than him, and so they have to get sound checked for both mics,
Right.
right?
Do you
Plus
enjoy it?
music.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
If you had a chance in college when you're only here for a few more months, actually.
Yeah, I really enjoy this class. At first, I kind of just took it because senior year, I had kind of like a period or two open and needed some type of class. I was like, oh, okay, like it's always seemed like a cool class. Like I always wanted to maybe like be on air. Like it's pretty cool. And but I'm really liking it. Like I think I might like look deeper into it, and it's definitely like a good class.
Boy, you are a great advertisement for exactly why we have this class. It's going to give you an opportunity to test yourself, find out something that otherwise might not be available to you, and down the road, you may want to pursue this. Now, she came in here looking like this, so
Yeah,
did it meet your expectations?
Definitely. It was a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be. And I love being anchor. I love behind the scenes. I definitely plan to take this class my next 3 years after.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I have a regular now. She's gonna be my regular,
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, this is we're right down to the last minute, and we have 21 minutes for this show.
right.
So you guys have 2 minutes.
2 minutes,
but
yeah, it's a little
It
different.
goes very quickly, so I
Right.
really thank the both of you. You guys were absolutely wonderful. I really congratulate you for kind of taking the risk of going on camera. The whole school sees you on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
So not only do you become TV personalities, but you can also become, can I imagine what you look like? Right, so, anyway, Lynn, it's a great opportunity for kids. Any last words?
I enjoy teaching the class so much, just mostly really because the teamwork aspect of the class is something I don't know how much. I mean, if a student is on a team, they know what that means, but some kids aren't like that. So when we come in there, that is really the main focus of this class. It's not, yes, we want to have a good show. And the way to do that is teamwork. And I think that is really a valuable lesson for all kids to have.
It is,
So,
as a matter of fact,
yeah.
that's right. This is a team, so.
yeah, team effort.
On that note, we've got to end. Thank you both very much. This was great. And thank you, Lynn.
Thank
As
you.
always, do a great job with this.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a little taste of what it's like to be here in the studio at Southside High School. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.